Hi everyone, my name is Gulshan Memoria. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Inspiredvalley. Inspiredvalley is a training company which is based at New Delhi. We've started this series called the Inspired Valley School Initiative, where we connect with the best minds in the educational world and discuss on some of the prominent topics. So today's topic is balancing academics and well-being and prioritizing the mental health in school setup. To discuss this topic, we have some esteemed panelists with us. The very first speaker we have for today's session is Miss Arti Prasad. She is the principal at Soami Nagar Model School, New Delhi. Next speaker we have is Miss Richa Sachdeva. She is the principal at Brightways International School, Sonipat. We also have Dr. Sandhya Venkatesh, the principal at Mount Litera Z School, Goa. We also have Mr. Mangeshkumar Awari. He is the principal at Saksham School, Wardha. And lastly, we have Miss Anuj Talan. She is the founder principal at Red Butterfly Preschool, Gurugram. I welcome you everyone on our webinar. Let me ask the very
It's our
first.
pleasure too, sir.
Let me ask the very first question with Arti ma'am. Arti ma'am, many students are hesitant to seek support for mental health issues due to stigma, and there might be number of issues like lack of awareness or fear of judgment. So how do you address these barriers and create a culture of openness and support within your, especially in your school community?
Yeah, this is a very, very important topic. Normally, we don't want to discuss these kind of things.
Exactly.
So, first of all, I would like to say we have to openly discuss these topics, talk about these issues, sometimes in assembly, sometimes by organizing workshops. And we have to give confidence to children that whatever they have to discuss will be kept confidential. Many times they have peer pressure. सबसे कॉमन चीज तो peer pressure है. Then
Exactly.
we have different kind of issues with different age groups. Sometimes we have ADHD. Different age groups have different problems. So first point is I will say give them confidence that they can talk about it, and we have to keep it confidential. Then second thing is we should have counselors. At times they don't want to talk in the class with their class teacher whom they see every day. So there should be a different person whom they can approach anytime and they can discuss their issues. And that confidentiality is very, very important. Since last 3 years, as we have seen in pandemic, there were so many cases, disturbed families, childhood was damaged in their houses, many things we have seen.
Many issues
So
are
it
there,
was
yes.
many issues. I've seen in good families also abusive language, beating. They have seen a lot. When we talk to children, they have seen a lot. So when you just put a pat on their head and when you just give them confidence, then they open up slowly. So we have started healthcare classes in our school in middle school in
Okay.
6th, 7th class. And Dr. Rahul Mehra, he is the CEO of Tarang Health Alliance. He is a famous scientist in US. He has started this. He has written a book which is dealing with different health issues, not only physical. Physical is only one aspect, but mental too. And we are openly talking and we are giving them different scenarios, different cases where they are writing on their own. And this is a very successful story of my school. So we have to have lot of patience, empathy towards our children. We should not label them, we should not tag them, and we have to be approachable. They can
Exactly.
come and share their views.
As you've
So
mentioned the
this
other
is my
example,
point of view.
yes.
Yeah,
So right interventions is also a key factor. It's not
yeah.
everywhere, but right interventions at the right time.
At the right time, yes. You get
Sun.
some signals. At times, children they hesitate, they give some signals, so you have to understand that and then be their side.
Exactly. You rightly said. I mean, when it comes to having that empathy with all these kind of issues, I mean, with the children, you need to first to have that relation with the students. Until the time you don't have that relation, so not just the counselor, it is a responsibility of the entire school setup to have that
Yes.
relation with the child, so that the person can open up and share their insight or the you can say the emotions with you, where the person is facing some challenges, right? Sandhya ma'am, I would like to have your views on this. I mean, how you handle these kind of issues in your school, and what sort of interventions that you have particularly in your school setup.
So, Gulshan, what we have done is after the pandemic, we saw a lot of problems.
Hmm.
See, initially, Goa is a state where people come to relax. It's a place for vacation. The
Exactly.
mindset of people is always enjoyment and relaxation.
Hmm.
So, what's happening? People over here, there is a lot of disturbance. Uh, so, what happened? Most of the families, parents, one parent is on shift.
Hmm.
So there are single mothers who are taking care of children at home.
Hmm.
So due to pandemic, fathers were forced to be back home,
Hmm.
and that was the time when we saw a lot of families where separation happened. Families broke in
Hmm.
those 2 3 years, and there was a lot of stress in children.
Hmm.
The smaller ones did not understand why they were separated. The bigger ones couldn't take it because they saw their father only for a month or 40 days.
Hmm.
Remaining part of the year, the father was on ship. And
Hmm.
when he came back, there were constant fights.
Hmm.
So when we started the physical school in 22,
Hmm.
beginning of the year, we conducted our final exam for 21-22 in school.
Hmm.
So when we started the physical school, we could see that on the faces of our children.
Hmm.
But we were blessed to have a school counselor, and the teachers were sensitive enough to observe the children.
Hmm.
So once
Observation
this
is the
was
key.
put in line, the teachers observed wherever there was a problem, we pitched in, we counseled the children. First and foremost, we spoke to the children, and second, we got the parents in, and
Hmm.
we made them understand whatever your fight is, it should be not in front of children, it should be behind the doors. I remember when we were
Hmm.
small, we have never seen our parents fight because that was the family culture where we were brought up. It is not
Hmm.
that they did not have differences.
Hmm.
Even they had differences, but that was never brought in front of children. The main reason of broken families is nowadays nobody wants to hold their horses back.
Hmm.
They want to just finish it off. Egos are running high. So here we have started with meditation. We have started with counseling. Once in a week, 10-15 minutes, we just sit in the class and we talk. We
Hmm.
may be talking rubbish, but we talk. So
Hmm.
that children feel that they have a friend with them and they
Hmm.
can open. So every teacher has taken a role of counselor, though they are not a qualified counselor, but
Hmm.
they talk to children to understand where is the pain.
At least someone is there
Meditation,
to listen that conversation. At least the feeling. That feeling is there.
yes.
Hmm.
See, you may not be able to do anything, but you're listening. That is the
Hmm.
best thing. And I have heard, means if you have heard that new advertisement,
Which one?
बोलने से ही प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होती है. एक ad है कि
Hmm.
बात करोगे तो हल निकलेगा. I don't remember the exact word, but it means if you speak, your problem will be solved.
Hmm. Hmm.
You
Hmm.
need a friend. And these gadgets coming in, see, we are the ones, we who started online classes. I say we are the culprits because we had to conduct education. So we went into online education, and that online education has ruined the smaller ones.
Hmm.
They have come to know the things which they shouldn't. That is one more reason for their mental health.
Hmm.
I have a living example in my school where I had to ask the parent to take the child for counseling, and later on, the child left the school because he was behaving very weird,
Hmm.
and no psychological counselor or psychiatrist could help him.
Hmm.
I don't know how we have come out of it, but the main thing is
Many
somehow
issues
this
are there. I
gadgets.
mean, we need to tackle these issues one by one. Hmm.
I can share today's example. When parent came for admission, a smallie was there, elder one was taking admission. To speak to the relationship manager, the mother gave mobile to the smaller one. Child is hardly 1.5 year old.
Exactly. Now, this is the major issues. Why? I mean, this is a very prevalent issues. I've seen in my own community also. A lot of friends of mine are
Hmm.
having their babies, and the babies are around 1 or 2, or maybe like below 5 years of age. And when they want some time for themselves, they give the mobile phone. Okay, do you want whatever you want, so that at least we can have our own
Right.
gala time. So this is a major issue. So they
Hmm.
don't know the repercussions which will take place after few years.
No, later on they are helpless parents. They can't
Hmm.
control. And
Hmm.
the educationist sitting here in the panel will agree with me. पेरेंट आके प्रिंसिपल और टीचर से बोलता है आप मोबाइल लेके मुझे दे दो,
Hmm.
आप मोबाइल लेके दे दो क्योंकि मुझे नहीं देता है. I think they are blessed. The
Hmm.
same situation if we were in, our parents would have given us left and right.
Hmm.
I'm not saying beat the children, but draw a line. It is very important.
Wonderful.
And
Let
mental
me,
health,
huh, Let me take the views with Mr. Mangesh also. Mr. Mangesh, please unmute yourself and share your views.
Yes, I'll be very agree with Sandhya madam. Even sometimes you will observe that the parents are saying or complaining to the principal that sir, my son is watching some videos or something in mobile phones. So please tell him, or my scooty has been taken and he's going somewhere. I said it is your scooty, it is your mobile phone at your home you have given. So how can we control these issues? So sometimes parent also has to just realize that their role also is important. Yes, we have kids. We are telling the parent. I am telling the parents straight away that sir, in my school, in my campus, we are not giving phones to them. Yes, the era has gone. The pandemic time has gone. So now we are not allowing. But now the time has come that you also should take some responsibility.
Wonderful. Let me take the views with Miss Richa. Miss Richa, I mean, we have already tackled some of the issues. Now, these issues are prevalent. A lot of issues are coming up. But how we address the issue of lack of awareness? When you talking about the lack of awareness, because most of the time, what happens? A lot of students are even they are not aware about that they are facing these kind of issues. I'm talking about the student, those who are in 8th, 9th or 11th, 12th standards. They're facing some emotional crisis, but they don't know that they are facing these issues. Are you getting the point? And because at that point of time they need the interventions, but again the lack of awareness is the main issue. Please unmute yourself. Would like to have your views on this. After this I'll go to Arti ma'am. Yes, please unmute yourself, Richa ma'am. We can't hear you. Can you hear anyone? Can you hear her? Richa ma'am, you need to fix this issue. I'll go to Anuj ma'am. Anuj ma'am, you understood the question, please? Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, we're talking about the lack of awareness. I mean, do you also face this kind of issues? I mean, in the society prevalent, I mean, in your own understanding where you have felt that, okay, now lack of awareness is the main issue. And as a school owner or as a school principal, we should conducting more programs about this issue as a whole.
Yes, I've seen these things even in the little one as well, and as well as in the elder one also. And if we talk about the little one first, I would like to add on here with Sandhya ma'am and with her as well, because I have seen problem of this mobile. First of all, I would like to continue that issue again because I have seen personally as well in my school also, and afterwards also, like parents are giving the mobile phone and these things because I have seen this is a very big issue because now parents are giving the mobile phone these things to the gadgets to the kids. Later on they are very much fussy, the kids are not listening to them also.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, please
Listening to
carry
them,
on.
and also later on, yeah, the later on they are very much, they're not having time to talk to the kids, and the kids mental health is going on that way in schools and also in some ways, sorry, and some ways the kids are getting such kind of things and they are unable to express their feelings, they are not having anyone to talk, and the parents, after giving the mobile, even parents nowadays are very much busy. In Gurugram I have seen 99% of the family, they are not having time to talk to their kids, own kids. And later on problem comes in that way, even grade kids, those who are in grade third, fourth, fifth, they're coming to our academy as well after the school care also, they're coming to us, and they, I think 90% of them, they are having mental issues. Being counselor as well, because I'm into this field also, not only the principal of the school, I'm psychiatrist also, so I feel these things. Kids are having the base problem from the house itself, from the home it develops, and in the school, being teacher, counselor, and also we are surrounded by the kids, so we have to counsel them all the time,
So
we have to
counseling is the
motivate
key, I
them.
believe. So we need to discuss a lot.
Exactly, and we need to always need to talk to them. We need to finalize these are the issues. The kids are having such kind of issues, and we have to settle the issue, and we need to talk them more and more because kid actually want to talk, and there is no one at their home. This issue I feel.
And
Very
normally
big
what
issue.
happened, yeah, normally what happened, they discuss these issues with their friends, and the friends have the limited
Yes.
understanding. So they don't give the
Yes.
right suggestion. As
Yes.
an adult,
Yes.
I mean, we can suggest. That's wonderful. Okay, I'll go to Sandhya ma'am. Sandhya ma'am, let me ask you this question. It's a very prominent one, and even we are also facing this in our society. I'm also reading this kind of issues again and again. I mean, on terms of the blog, the stories from number of universities as well as the schools. So mental health is becoming increasingly important issue in schools, specifically in schools, with the students facing a range of challenges such as stress, anxiety, and depression. Now, these are the main three important reasons, the three prominent sections. I would rather say the stress, anxiety, and depression. So, how you prioritizing the mental health in your school, and what sort of, you can say, actions that you have taken for this student well-being?
Uh, Gulshan, first of all, stress, anxiety are given by parents.
Hmm.
If that child is getting 90%, you should get 90. You cannot get 80.
Hmm.
That stress reaches to anxiety, and if the child doesn't get that 90, he goes into depression.
Hmm.
Because nowadays, I don't understand why every parent wants their child to become, to crack JEE and NEET. अगर सारे ही इंजीनियर और सारे ही डॉक्टर बनेंगे तो मरीज कौन रहेगा? So this anxiety is killing. Parents have forgotten that there are lot many options for children available now. Gone are those days where people had to become only engineers and doctors.
Let
For
me.
as a school, that's why we have a session with parents where we enlighten them by saying that अगर बच्चा इंजीनियरिंग और डॉक्टरेट नहीं बनता है तो भी बहुत कुछ बन सकता है. So
let me
first
let me
education
let me share a very you can say my own experience. We have also another startup. My other startup I started in year 2016. I'm sure a lot of people would know this name, Inspiring Minds. So Inspiring Minds is, again, this is one of my brand. So in that brand we conduct a lot of career guidance seminars. I started my journey back in 2013 with CBSE, and we used to conduct a lot of training program. So recently, I mean, a lot of training program that we have conducted with this career guidance. Recently, we went to a place called Rewari. I'm sure a lot of people might have heard the name. अच्छा, रेवाड़ी के अंदर जो मुझे एक चीज़ बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, दो द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द स्कूल वॉज वेरी गुड, बट अगेन द मेंटालिटी ऑफ द पेरेंट्स वॉज नॉट वेरी यू कैन से, बहुत ज़्यादा खुला नहीं था कि हम बहुत चीज़ें ट्राई कर सकते हैं. That's absolutely fine. We had no issues. So when we had conducted this seminar and we gave a lot of career options, and still 90% of the parents, they just asked about the IIT or the NEET examination. Why? Because almost every second parents wants their child to go to Kota or to come to Delhi and to prepare for this NEET or the JEE examination. Then I give a very prominent example which sometimes I share, that do you know how many students gave the NEET examination last year? And just rough example. Last year almost 18.5 lakh students gave the NEET examination. And if you know how many seats are available in NEET, in not just NEET, in government and semi-government institutions, only 50 to 60,000 seats. When you're talking about the government seats, because for the private seats, it's very बहुत costly रहेगा. And but not everybody want to go to some XYZ institution. Everybody want to go to AIMS. And in AIMS, only 7 AIMS are there, right? And in 7 AIMS, only 700 seats are there. So the probability of getting into AIMS or getting a seat is far less, or succeeding in other professions. But nobody understands that. If you take any example of getting a coaching from any of the reputed coaching institution, it might take approximately 2.5 lakh to 4 lakh rupees with the coaching as well as the accommodation and housing, everything. But still, nobody questions that thing. If somebody wants to become a YouTuber, which is a profession right now, full-fledged profession, but again, how many would agree with this thing? So this has become a very source of, I would rather say, the anxiety, depression, and stress. Yes, Miss Anuj, you want to add your point, please?
Yes, yes. Here, one more point. We all are always talking about the child counseling. But here, I think we must give this counseling to the parent as well.
Exactly.
We must add on few things here.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree, because after pandemic time, we took a lot of time for orientation and counseling of parents. They
Yes.
have, as we all have come to the common ground that phone is the main culprit. And as we agree that parents are responsible for most of the time. So we had to train them, we have to convince them, we have to train parents, say no to mobile phone. Second thing we opted was channelizing their energy in good things. First of all, we focus very much on sports. So we have to channelize their energy. Sports is a very good medium.
Exactly.
Secondly, using mobile also sensibly. We took up very good brainstorming sessions with teachers and other educators, and we realized that if we give them a task, because we can't suddenly cut them off from the phone, so we gave them very using the phone, using their making their dictionaries and vocabulary and some kind of tasks, very good task, and the result was very good. So children were using mobile and they were channelizing their energy in a very productive manner.
Exactly,
So that
exactly.
is how we dealt with these problems in our school.
The sports is a very nice thing. I mean, we should always focus on sports, getting at least the student every, I mean, regardless of the age, he or she should go to the sports and play the activities at least 1 or 2 hours on daily basis, so that वो फिर जो मोबाइल का टाइम है वो सही जगह यूटिलाइज हो सके.
That
रिचा
is
मैम,
what we used to do. We used to play a lot. We didn't have these gadgets.
and
TV
now we're
time was
doing good.
less.
We all are doing good in our own professions. We have all
Yeah,
taken
so
our
screen
journeys.
time. Yeah,
Yes.
listening screen time is very important.
See, everybody is now after a race. I mean, today I've recorded another, like recently we have also started a podcast series. So the Inspired Valley podcast, Decoding Success. So now this series is all about the connecting with the startup entrepreneurs. So this is like today we have recorded the 30th episode. So today the founder was, his age was just 23. Believe me, his age was just 23, and he has got 2 grants from the there's a lot of voices coming from the background. Some guys, I would request you, if you're not speaking, then put yourself on mute, because a lot of voices coming from your background. No, it's fine. Yeah, Miss Arti, you wanted to say something, or let me or should I complete?
No, I just saw Richa ma'am was saying something, but I think we are not getting a voice.
Richa ma'am, there's no problem from our side. Just to clarify, there's some problem for you from your side. No, we can't hear you. We have not done anything from our end. Yeah, I cannot do anything like from my end. Either I would request you, I mean, maybe you have joined us from your laptop, so you can also join us from your phone. I mean, try using your phone, प्लीज़. हाँ, इसको एक बार ट्राई करके देखते हैं. येस, सो आई वाज टेलिंग यू. तो मैंने उनसे बहुत आराम से पूछा कि आई मीन इज देयर इज वन थिंग दैट यू वुड लाइक टू शेयर विद द फेलो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और फेलो स्टूडेंट दोज वर इन स्टिल इन कॉलेज और द स्कूल. ही हैज़ गॉट 2 grants. मतलब वो IIT से भी उसको ग्रांट मिला. Once for 4 lakh rupees, he has made one AI software for the eyes testing and all. Wonderful chap. You should listen that podcast. बहुत अच्छा लगा. तो उसने कहा कि do not wait for anything. I mean, if you want to do something, just go for it. तो मैंने उनको कहा कि यार life is not a race, right? I mean, maybe for your thing, you want, because you wanted to do, that's why you started at the age of 21, and at the age of 23 you are a good entrepreneur, you are doing good because you wanted to. But that doesn't mean that everybody wants to do these things. Life is not a race, and if you don't want to do something at this point of view, you just want to explore something, then you can. We also discussed this just after graduation. There's no need to go for masters directly. You should go for at least 2 to 3 years of working thing. Yes, when you go for the working thing, you will get a lot of understanding about the real world, which is a need of the time. Yes, Arti ma'am, please, I would like to come to you. You wanted to share, please. Thank you so much, guys, for listening that story.
No, nothing specific. Even I tell my students there is no harm in taking drop after graduation or at any time. So first of all, listen to your inner voice. Continue your passion. Whatever passion you have to try at least.
Exactly.
Without giving it a try, you cannot fulfill your dreams. So they have to dream big and then give it a try.
And moreover, in the school setup, even yesterday also, when we were talking about how we can inculcate the student voice, then we should always ask the students to at least, I mean, always go for some end of the internships also when they're in 11th and 12th. Because there are a lot of internship opportunities are available which they can go for online. So when they go and understand the real world scenario, it will give them the more insights. सो वो जो एनजाइटी डिप्रेशन वाली चीज़ें हैं वो थोड़ी कम होती हैं, बिकॉज दे अंडरस्टैंड कि यार लाइफ में इट्स ऑल अबाउट 90% वाला ही जीतेगा, 60% वाला इज गोइंग ऑल्सो डूइंग गुड. रिचा मैम, नाउ यू वांट टू से समथिंग?
Now I'm audible to
Yes,
you?
you are absolutely.
Okay, fine.
Please,
fine.
please, please.
Yes, I want to add on with your point actually, because right now we are living in a technological world and we are getting more and more information, and AI is entering in this scenario, so we have lot of knowledge. Okay, so it is also create a mental hazard to the students, because they feel like he is more knowledgeable, he is more creative than me, I have to be more, so they are getting unnecessarily pressure. Okay, this is creating stress and anxiety to them. They are behind this chat GPTP, they are getting more and more questions, many things are going on in the schools, so this also create mental pressure on the students. So what I used to do, I used to educate them, because somewhere we have to create a barrier, so that they get whatever they just we put a filter in the Amazon, that whatever we need, that only we have to get. So the students are not putting filters in their social media actually. They are getting information, and this is creating a lot of problems.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
yes.
Thank you, Richa ma'am. Thank you, Arti ma'am. I believe you need to leave now. It was lovely interacting with you. We can't hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Same here, I'll take your leave. Thank you, everyone, and we had a wonderful session. See you soon. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, I'll again come back to Sandhya ma'am. Please, what you wanted to add your point?
Yeah, when we are talking about educating children about use of mobile, how it can be useful to them, I think that we are doing our part.
Yes.
The remaining part where we have to take care that they use it only for educational purpose, rather than going on Instagram and Snapchat. And then today's news that 15-year-old met her Instagram friend and she was gang raped. The girl did not know she goes to meet. Today's generation is not the generation which will abide by what you say.
That's
Even if you train them.
you rightly
Yeah,
said, ma'am. You rightly said. Even in the last, even we had conducted this kind of webinar before in the similar issue, and when we discussed this issue that we should tell them not to use this thing. Now, some of the panelists have discussed in length, and we came to this conclusion. Then student will not listen to this thing. They will not abide by it. They will definitely use it. It's just that we need to tell them, okay, what are the repercussions if you use it, and moreover, how safely you can use it. That would create wonders.
That you and me will do, but the parent, I'll give you example of my school. When this Instagram thing came up a year back, when I called the parent to counsel, the parent was very angry, saying that it is her personal account, she can make friend. Girl, 13-year-old, having her own personal mobile. Before pandemic, I'm talking pandemic and after pandemic. Before pandemic, having friends on Instagram which she had not even met, and then she goes to meet
Out
them.
of curiosity, they make it. Yes.
Yeah, and then when we try to counsel them, it is not the right thing. It is everybody puts it on school, everybody puts it on teacher. It's not only teacher and school.
Exactly.
Why parents are not taking their duty? Why aren't they taking a step forward? Because today the problem is every household has only one child or two. Gone are those days when they had 3, 4. अब एक ही है तो everybody is on that one child, giving everything. And
this is the main issue. This is also one of the main issues. Previously, they had many kids in this in their houses. They live in the joint house. They are joint families. But right now, they only one kid. So they pamper that kid to that level that after a certain point, even the kid start resisting for almost everything.
Exactly.
Today's parent is a scared parent.
Yes.
Scared.
It happens. Is
the dialogue.
Yeah, Mr. Mangesh. Thank you, Sandhya ma'am, for sharing your views. Yeah, Mr. Mangesh, you want to add your point, please, too?
Yes, sir. When it comes to anxiety and depression, I feel that the outlet is missing nowadays. The children, like previously, if you say that the previously we had a joint family where cousins were there, uncle were there, aunt were there, grandparents were there. But now you will find that single family or maybe single parent, this kind of culture is there. So whenever I am also parent, and my daughter is also in KG2. So whenever we have work, what we do, we simply give our cell phones to our children so that they will be engaged. So maybe because of the outlet, the children are facing the issues. And then one more you talk about, sir, the competitive coaching classes culture. Nowadays, I feel after 10th, it is like giving children the medicine. One is JEE and the other is NEET. So like creating the culture like that. So right from 8 onwards, nowadays you'll find that 6 to 10 also, there are some foundational courses or crash courses have been started. And after 10th, the child will have only two options, two drugs, NEET or JEE. And sometimes I feel that what if the child is going for NEET and unable to crack? So neither he will be there for JEE and neither he will be a proper science graduate students also. So these kind of issues will happen.
See, it happens. When this is competition is almost with everything. I mean, whether the UPSC, whether the science, or whether the YouTube, right? So we have to focus upon the inner calling. If the student is passionate about certain thing, that बहुत सारे बच्चे होते हैं जिनको बनना ही है इंजीनियर, जिनको बनना ही है IIT, उनका focused है कि that they want to pursue the NDA, they want to crack it, so they can do this. But again, should not come from the parent side. Okay, that you should take this thing. In this thing, you can earn a lot of amount. I have seen that. I'll get the admission done in XYZ college. So this thing should not be there. I'll give you one more practical example. Last month, we did one career guidance workshop with Navy Children's School, Goa. I believe Sandhya ma'am, it's very, maybe it's quite near to your school. तो वहाँ पर प्रिंसिपल मैम से हमने बहुत डिस्कशन किया एंड वी हैड दिस ऑनलाइन सेशन. तो ऑनलाइन सेशन के अंदर वी हैव डन वन दिस स्टूडेंट के सेशन के बाद में वी डिड दिस पेरेंट्स ओरिएंटेशन सेशन. तो उन्होंने किसी पेरेंट्स ने पूरे ही सेशन में साथ किया, मतलब रखा. तो आफ्टर द सेशन दैट वाज अ सिंगल पेरेंट, उन्होंने कहा कि सर आपने पूरे सेशन में एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में सिर्फ 10 मिनट बात की या 5 मिनट बात की, आपने इसको और लेंथ में बात करना चाहिए था. सो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि यहाँ पेरेंट्स बहुत जाग रहे हैं इस चीज़ के बारे में कि यहाँ हमको एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में बात करना चाहिए. बिकॉज पेरेंट्स वॉज सेइंग आई वुड नॉट बी हैप्पी इफ द student will go to the normal professions. He can also become an entrepreneur if he wants to, but we should be vocal about it and we should be more having some discussions about it. Okay, now this is also a full-fledged profession thanks to Shark Tank India. Miss Anuj, please add your point.
Yes, here I would like to share one incident. It happened with my own daughter last year, which is a program from Nagar. I studied a school here.
Yeah, please go on.
Yes,
Please
sir.
go on.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
She was in grade 7 at the time. She was hardly 11.5 years old. First time we entered in Gurugram, the culture that was totally entirely different from the Punjab.
Okay.
And the time she entered in the school, the bullying, teasing, these things are normal over there. And my daughter was hostel for these things. So personally, I feel like my principal also that she's facing such troubles and the many more.
We lost you in between. Miss Anuj, there is some net issues. Yeah, I'll go to Richa ma'am. Please add your point.
So I totally agree with you. Today the trends is changing actually. So now the children are more towards the entrepreneurship actually. So they are looking forward for a freedom and all that thing. They want that they just start their business, their own business. You know, like ma'am, today one child came to me of 11th. I asked him what you want to pursue. So he wants I want to be in a share market. Wonderful, it's a good stream to have. So right now he is in 11th and he is right now also just investing in share market. He has his interest in that thing. So now trends is changing actually.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And moreover, we also, yesterday also we discussed, and I would always request everyone, every principal, yesterday what we have discussed, like recently I was invited by Dayal Singh College, which is in Delhi University. So I was invited to give a guest lecture on decoding productivity, which is my topic, and moreover talk about the entrepreneurship also. Since I'm a founder of 2 startups, so they asked me to focus on this. You won't believe, after the discussions, students were so happy. Because they had some real time experience कि हाँ यार क्या हो रहा है. And at that point of time itself, 2 students asked me to give the internship also. Okay, sir, can you give us the internship? And I gave them the internship, and they were so happy. So I request every principal, I mean, please kindly invite the speakers, any speaker per se. I mean, right now, they have a lot of founders, whether they are in share market, the finance, fintech or edtech, because when they meet the people in real sense, those who are working in the real world, they'll get some more understanding. Because when the student will get some passion और उनको कुछ clarity मिल जाएगा ना, goal मिल जाएगा उनको life में, then this depression, anxiety will fade away.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sandhya ma'am, please, you wanted to add your point. I believe you have raised your hand. Or should I go on and asking the question with Richa ma'am? Richa ma'am, I want to ask you this question. This is a very interesting one. Even I wrote this question with right intention. So supporting the mental health requires a multifaceted approach, right? I mean, in school, we also have different approaches, like including the prevention or early intervention and the access to services and resources, right? So how do you ensure that the students have the access to the support they need, the actual support that they need, and what kind of programs or the initiatives have been effective in promoting the mental health and well-being in your school? We're talking about the initiatives that you have in your school or the programs that you do on regular basis.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to say that we conduct on a regular basis workshops actually.
Okay. The workshop should be on the mental health issues, how this will create some positive impact on your health. Okay. If you're facing some issues, then how you can intervene. Fine.
It can be in-house and it can be like from
outsourced.
Yeah, outsourced. So other thing what we are doing, we are providing them a peer support system. Like that is a wonderful thing. It's working in our school actually. Sometimes it happens that some students are not open up to teachers. Maybe sometimes it happens. We have every kind of student in our school. So we have a peer support system period in which we have a different kind of classes and students are there. So they are discussing with each other. So it is just a peer mentoring.
Exactly. It's good to have the peer support system. Even in the army also they have a buddy system. Even the corporates also they have a buddy system. So what the beauty of the buddy system is that if one facing some challenges, the other is also there. Okay, that I'm here for you. If you're facing some challenges, I was also there, so that you can discuss with me and we can together sail it through. Yes.
And one other unique thing I am doing in my school is gratitude actually. So it is a mindfulness activity. So
wonderful.
I start it from the day class 1 only. So they are doing one gratitude to one thing every day. And increase by for higher classes, it is like writing a gratitude journal. So I have just initiated a life skills in my curriculum. Instead of moral values, I have inserted life skills because I think life skills are more better than I think in a moral value, because it gives a hand-on learning. So we used to have a story for a week, and then we ask a question from the students and then role plays, and it is like the first is self-awareness and empathy. So I personally believe if students know about empathy, they have that empathy, then they can just they hold the hand of other children and they just go away. They just say ki haan yaar ye ho jayega, just go it, because in 10th and 12th we have a pressure. So if 12th student say to 10th student that yaar ho jayega, so they feel like somebody has back. If he has done, then I'll also do. So these kind of things
at a very early age also, that you started doing this kind of programs, so they'll get more understanding about the gratitude and about the life skills and the value system which they has to. Wonderful. Sandhya ma'am, how about you? I mean, how you handle this kind of, what kind of activities that you are doing in your school when it comes to promoting the mental health issues?
See, what ma'am said just now, Richa ma'am, that is the best thing what everybody can do. And even we are doing it. Because see, right now, they need to speak, they need to have support, which they are not getting home. They have to have that support, because nowadays, even if you check in the housing society also, you don't get same age children. So you don't and you don't have friends. You need a shoulder to cry. When I'm stressed, I need somebody to whom I can speak to. My
Exactly.
parents definitely don't have time. It's very rarely that you find that parents say that we have time, we can sit with them, I talk to my child. It is difficult nowadays. So when you have a good friend, and this school friendship lasts lifelong. If you see, you may also be having a school friend.
We all have.
And yeah, and those friends remain. Then you
Exactly.
have friends from college. Colleagues, when you work, hardly few get together, but you need a friend. So buddy system, peer system is a very best thing which every one of us have to do. And in my school, so when a child is suppose weak in math, we pair him with a child who's good in math. So with his support, they can work together, hand in hand. They can achieve more. Right. And when we do that, we tell the one who can do it, if you teach him, your knowledge gets fixed. Means you will पक्का हो जाएगा. तुम एक ही सम 10 बार करोगे, गलती तो कभी नहीं होगी.
I still remember
साइंस
my.
में
हाँ.
ये सिस्टम बहुत काम करता है.
Yes,
और
exactly.
ये हमने हमारे टाइम पे किया था.
बिल्कुल.
So
ये
it is
सबने ही
better
किया
that
मैम.
if
संध्या मैम,
somebody-
even I also. मेरा एक फ्रेंड हुआ करता था when we were in 9th and 10th standard. तो after 10th standard he took it science, the PCM, and I took it commerce with mathematics. Though I was not very super intelligent kind of a person, I was always 70-75% kind of a child. I always focused on some other areas also. I was captain of the cricket team of my. I'm a product of Ramjas. I mean in Delhi only. It's a good school. So what my friend did, he was checking it out that because we had gone to the same tuition classes, and he has seen that I was facing some issues with the mathematics, and he was preparing for the IIT. So he asked me, okay Gulshan, every day you can come to my place, and from night, like almost like he's just very near to my place only, hardly 100 meters. तो रात के 8 बजे से लेके रात के 12-1 बजे तक हम लोग मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ते थे. And he was my tutor. Believe me, I was reluctant to ask a lot of these solutions of the problem with my teacher. And पता नहीं क्या एक resistant level था, but I was very easy going with my friend. And I still remember that relationship. He used to give me a lot of tests. He used to check me. And because of him, I secured good percentage in my 12th standard in my mathematics. So again, this really helps when you share this kind of stories with your child. Okay, now this will play wonders in your life. Yeah, Richa ma'am, please.
Yeah.
You've raised your
Other
hand.
thing-
Yeah.
Yeah. Other things we are using like yoga and meditation, and it is like part of our assembly only. So they feel quite like calm and composed we do in the morning actually. So it is a daily activity because when our energy is inside, it's pent up actually. So that's why we are facing problem. I just totally agree with Mr. This Saksham.
Yes.
Schools,
Mr. Mangesh. Mr. Mangesh.
actually he said ki students are not finding their outlet actually, and he's very right at that point because they are not getting an outlet, so their energy get pent up, and so if they do some physical activity, then only they can release their stress and anxiety actually.
It will also play. Wonderful. Anybody would like to meet other points on this particular point, or should we move on to the next question? Okay, let me ask the question with Mr. Mangesh. Now, this is something which we've already discussed, but I want to discuss in length. So, Mr. Mangesh, the student academic success is often seen as a primary goal of schools, which is mostly in India, right? I mean, currently. But there is a growing recognition that mental health and well-being are essential for the school students' achievement. So, how do you balance this competing priorities, and what strategies have been effective in promoting the both academic success and the well-being? Because I'm sure if not now, there will be a growing demand for this thing. We should always balance these two things. You need to unmute yourself, Mr. Mangesh, please.
Gulshanji, this is the need of the hour, I believe. The strategies we need to plan. And when you have invited me for this, I was reading to this book which is given by CBSE to all the schools, training and resource material about health and wellness of school-going children. So how to handle the children and how to handle the children who are facing the problem with emotional beings, social beings, and mental well-beings. So when it comes to the strategies, I believe we can go for a positive vibes, positive school culture, and where we can promote a team rather than individual. So when we promote a team, even the student, when we call a dull student, also will get chance. Whenever any annual function is there, whenever the program is there, I ensure that maximum number of participation. I feel that I don't want any laurels, but I just ensure that every child should participate. Moreover, providing mental health resources is also one of the good factor, like calling the counselors, even the parents who are educated stakeholders. If like any engineer, any doctor, like any doctors say, any doctor parent, if you involve, the child will be happy. See, my father has come, my mother has come, and even the other children also will get motivated. I believe this also can be a good strategy. And as all the people have said, again, it is neither the R is encouraging physical activity. And we remember our days where we don't have any tuition or coaching classes or any music or hobby classes. We used to play. Like we all may be product of CBSE or state board where we had a timing of 11 to 5. And again, after leaving the school, we used to play for 2 to 3 hours. But present kids will find that they will have timing like 8 to 3 school, then 3 to 4 coaching class, again a hobby class, then swimming class, then singing class. So the child will not get any time for even self realization. Who I am? Am I supposed to become AI Rahman?
या आई स्टिल रिमेंबर हम लोग गिर जाते थे, पता नहीं कितनी बार गिर जाते थे और हर बार चोट लगती थी और वो चोट ठीक ही नहीं हो पाती थी. मतलब इस घर वालों की यही मेजर चैलेंज था कि ठीक नहीं होने देना, तो उनको हर बार ख़राब हो रहा है. आज के टाइम पर मैं देखता हूँ बच्चे, छोटे छोटे बच्चे, मतलब 10 सिर्फ 10 साल के 15 साल के, गिरते ही उनकी हड्डी टूट जाती है. राइट. अगर वो हमारे जैसे होते ना उस टाइम पर तो पता नहीं क्या ही हो जाता. Isn't it? Because we used to play like anything. मतलब every time we used to play. So I believe that was the reason for that we did not face any mental health issues, right?
And
but now the things have changed. Yes.
We are so creative, like playing the games, but they are now creative in
the video
finding
game.
out the
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So now the focus has been shifted.
And when it comes to academic growth, sir, I clearly told my parents not to come for any result days. If you want to come before the examination at least 10 or 15 days prior, so that whatever the damage control is there, that we can do. Because after coming result and just imposing question that where my child is getting less marks, generally whoever are those low learners, I myself will make call, or even I will tell class teachers to make calls, and I will interact with one-to-one parents. So when these parents come for the result declarations, they realize that no, I have seen my child's book is incomplete. I've seen my child is lagging somewhere. I said, yes, we are ready for that. So I go for these kind of strategies. At the same time, as I already told you, so balancing the workload of the children is very much important. And even for that, I'm going with many times student and even parent orientation programs. And straight away, I impose this question to them and I call them, are you helicopter parents? Saying that I'll just go with some questions also, like, do I relate love with success? Do I feel upset with myself if my child fails? Do I try to fight my child's battles? Do I take my child's project as my own? Do I talk about we instead of him or her? Do I always take decision for my child? Am I overly concerned about my child's schedule or future? Am I constantly calling my child's teacher? So these are the questions I face. Initially, they feel no, this principle is there, just directly attacking. But I make them realize these are the issues where you should give some free hand to your kids.
We have some, I mean, as we've already discussed, Sandhya ma'am has already said that now they have only one child or maximum 2 child, right? So they are overprotective and over pampered and over concerned. So this is not something with one of the parent. Almost every single parent are like this only right now.
Yes.
Okay, now let's move on to our last section of our webinar. We call it rapid fire round. In rapid fire round, what we do, we take suggestions from everyone. The suggestion is, I mean, there are many suggestions that we have discussed so far. I mean, in today's webinar, then how to handle the mental health issues or the well-being of the students in the school setup specifically. So I want some more creative answers from your side so that our listeners or the people, the teachers or the principals who will listen this webinar, they'll get some more concrete to implement it in their own setup, right? So I would give you some time, maybe 10-20 seconds. I want 2 suggestions from everyone. Suggestions is, apart from the discussions which we had so far, what other things that we can implement in the school setup as an activity or anything per se to handle the mental well-being of the students? Is that everyone understood the question? Fine. So I'll give you first. I'll go to Miss Anuj, then Sir, then Sandhya ma'am, then Richa ma'am. Fine.
I think we should add few more physical activities and creative activities classes. Apart from the sports, we can add few more creative classes, like their hobby classes, which we used to have in the after school sessions. We can add on in the school curriculum, and we can make the classroom more interactive. Already, as per the NEP, we are following many more things, but still we can add few activities and also the moral education. We can add the moral values so that for the motivation of the kids, motivation should be there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes. So can we have the views from your side? Yeah, please unmute yourself and please switch on your video. Yeah. 2 suggestions from your side.
I believe collaborative learning can be a good boost for everyone, like where the teachers are maybe exchange. Maybe initially it will be $1 million question where how it will be possible. But if collaborative learning takes place, like parallel area schools go for some inter-house or competitions where children will mix up with each other, so that even the teachers are also having some collaborative approach of the training, just like how principals are there, we are having collaborative approach and we are sharing each other's problems. So these kind of things are discussed
Like
with
this, like for an
educators.
example, we are conducting this webinar, right? And we are
Yes, sir.
asking the principals from all over the country to come in. So this is a collaborative approach where you're also interacting with your fellow principals. So you have this sense of understanding is there, sense of belongingness is
Yes.
there, right? Everyone is learning is there. So again, you're asking the same thing with the students as well. So if the students will experience the same thing, they will also have this kind of feeling, and it will help them to grow and handle those mental challenges. Am I right?
Right, right, right.
Wonderful, sir. Second thing, any other thing apart from this? Any other thing that you want to add? You may think of, okay, apart from this thing, what else that we can include in the school?
Rightly, even CBSE has introduced 6 to 8 skill educations. So I believe that can be one of the vital. It will play one of the vital role where the children will be involved in different kind of skill educations, and even like as we all say that energy is neither created or not destroyed. So it is need to be transferred one force to another force. So initially we can engage the students in different ways. I believe
I totally
students' engagement in different activities is more important. I believe.
I totally got your point. Even I totally agree with you. The kinesthetically, how when the students are more involved kinesthetically, it helps them to grow drastically. So wonderful suggestions. Thank you. Yeah, Miss Sandhya, please.
We can go with the mother teacher concept. Divide the group of around 10-12 students with one teacher who will be like mother to them, talk to them whenever there is a problem, and plus buddy system. Permanent buddy, so that for 2 years, suppose the child is in 9th, so 9th, 10th, he has buddy.
Same
and
buddy.
the same thing changes to 11th and 12th. 11th and 12th, if they are in the same stream, the child remains with the same one. So that he has a friend for 4 years who will interact, who will guide, and a teacher who's second mother in school to give them time whenever there is a problem.
Wonderful.
Even if no problem, at least one fact to know that there is somebody whom I can rely on. So these 2 things we can follow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sandhya ma'am. Yeah, I'll come to Richa ma'am. Please share your views. 2 suggestions.
So I would say ki we should we can start, like we can just educate them. We can just tell about the mental education. What are the things are going on, and they should open up. Actually, sometimes it happens. They even don't know ki what is going on inside. So they are quite not feeling well. They just said ki we don't know actually what is going on.
Exactly.
So we just tell them the point that ki these are the conditions. If you are facing these kinds of problems, just come to us. Just come to whosoever teacher you just like them. Just because we have a counselor, but sometimes students have their favorite teacher. Just like ma'am has said ki we can have a mother teacher. So they are just they are connected with some
Discuss
teacher.
some of the issues. You rightly said, ma'am. Let me share one example because this is very quite relevant. 5 years before, one of the principals, like she was very close with our company. She was the principal of Aditya Birla Public School, Jodhpur. So she specifically asked us, okay, Gulshan, I mean, you're coming for the career guidance workshop. Why don't you include a particular presentation on the repercussions on the reality of quota? Right. So it took us almost like 15 days to work on the presentation and everything, and we checked everything in detail. मतलब कितने लोग सुसाइड करते हैं, कितने लोग वहाँ पर जाते हैं, कितना रिजल्ट है, एंड आफ्टर डूइंग एवरीथिंग, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट जो उनका रिजल्ट का जो रेशो था वो बहुत ही स्मॉल परसेंटेज में था. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो सब लोग वहाँ जाते थे उनका सक्सेसफुल हो ही जाता है, नहीं. देयर इज नो साइंटिफिक स्टडी. एंड मोर ओवर व्हेन यू डिस्कस अबाउट द सुसाइड्स, क्यों होती हैं? बिकॉज एट दैट जहाँ पर आप होते हो वो एक बहुत ही एक हार्श इन्वायरमेंट है. वहाँ पर आपको इमोशनल सपोर्ट कुछ नहीं मिलता, मेंटल बहुत ही आप वल्नरेबल रहते हो. बट व्हेन यू आर एट योर होम, you have the comfort zone, now everything at your disposal, and if you want to prepare, there's nothing more beautiful than having your mother's food and now preparing. I mean, studying for 8 to 10 hours, you can easily do this. There's no point of doing and going the quota, and it creates wonders every time we do this study. Because abhi kitne log suicide kar rahe hain, so we should be vocal about it. We should be talking about it कि हाँ suicide लोग करते क्यों हैं. We're not asking them to do the suicide, but we should be vocal about it कि हाँ बच्चे ये चीज़ हो रही हैं. तो हो सकता है when you start preparing for the examination, you will going to face these issues. These issues are very temporary. This will not, after 2 years, you will totally forget these issues.
Yes.
Right. So
And
this,
I say them कि life will not end if you not get this.
Exactly.
We have not a lot of option. We are living in a like 21st century. Lot of people I have seen by myself, the student who is scoring just a 10 marks and now he is earning like in a lakhs actually.
Exactly.
So we have lot.
Exactly.
Other thing I would like to say, human touch. I want to add empathy. You know, this is missing somewhere. Actually, we are living in a like online sessions, technology world. So somehow we have just
we lost that human touch. That's I believe Miss Sandhya, or I believe you have mentioned that gratitude part. So again, if we would rightly implement the gratitude part, this will create wonders.
Yes. Because we are not thankful for what we have. Actually, we are running behind what we don't have. So this system we have to inculcate in our students. So this will automatically just drain out this mental health.
Wonderful.
I mean, one thing I would
please,
like to
Sandhya,
add.
ma'am.
Now we have to train children to accept no as an answer.
Yes.
Everything cannot
Totally.
be yes. If the moment the child starts taking no as an answer, he will also learn to accept failures. It cannot be a winner all the time.
Exactly.
So somewhere we have to again join hands, educate parents that they also have to start saying no to their demands. It cannot be fulfilled every time. We have seen children wasting things. They throw pencils, they throw pens because they get it. They get it in abundance.
Yes.
Gone are those days where parents were rationing it कि तुम्हारा पेंसिल दिखाओ कितना हुआ है तो दूसरा मिलेगा.
This has happened. I experienced this thing. We used to shop the pencil from the front side and the back side also.
I know. See, that is why we know the value.
Yes.
We taught value. We were allowed by parents to use money. Means we.
If I'm not sure how many of you remember, but we used to put this pen caps above the pencil so that we can utilize it to the full level, isn't it?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Very true. Very true. So there are many things like Gulshan. There are many things because it is not teachers and schools' job.
Exactly.
Everybody has to realize now what people do. They run after those sadhus and babas to get relief and remedies. Everybody, if they just look inside, they will know where they are wrong.
Wonderful. Let me let me officially conclude this webinar. Then we can have a chit chat for the next 5 minutes. So again, thank you everyone, Sandhya ma'am, sir, Richa ma'am, for sharing your wonderful views. I'm sure our listeners will be delighted. To listen to all these views. To conclude this thing, there are many things that we have discussed, and if we implement it with our full heart, definitely we'll see good results in the future, and we definitely work upon on the mental issues and the well-being of our students. And as a school principal, it is not just the entire onus is not on our shoulder. It is the complete responsibility of the entire society, specifically the parents, the other major stakeholders of the society to work upon on these issues. So on the behalf of the entire team of Inspired Valley, I, Gulshan Memoria, thank you everyone for taking participation in this wonderful webinar.